So I'm practicing with feeling into what I'm experiencing around uh, a soul essence and then speaking from that place. And our soul essence tonight is unity. Another word for it is oneness. But the reason that I'm calling it unity is because we're living in a time where experts say that we're more polarized than ever before, that we um, group ourselves according to certain things more than we have in the past. And it's my feeling that even if we don't speak our differences aloud, if we don't verbally denigrate some other group, it's my feeling that if we carry our strong and negative opinions, that we put it out there into our environments. And that if we're not working to create unity, we're sort of on the team of either keeping the status quo or creating more disunity. So I would like to be a person who is creating more unity, more oneness here. So our soul series has, oh good. I thought, oh, I didn't start the recording. It started itself for me. I'll have to edit out this part. So in our soul series, we are using the metaphor of our small, cramped ego house where we spend and have spent the majority of our time living and acting out of that house, that space. But in reality, there's been this spacious, airy, open soul house that we can and could have been accessing all along. So as we do these practices, that's the belief, is that the practice of surrendered presence actually leads us to a place where we have very clear access to our soul. And we have access to all these essences of our soul. So, soul. I believe we all came from somewhere. I believe we came from some sort of oneness, source, unity, love. And so when we were incarnated, we brought our soul with us, fully intact. So our soul essences are nothing at all that we need to develop or exercise. They're all there, completely formed, ready to serve us and the world. The problem is, of course, that we forget our soul and we listen to the ego. So in that place we came from, we were one. We all had the same soul qualities. And of course, the reality is we all still do. So it doesn't matter who you are, what your opinions are, what you've done in the world, good or bad. And no matter how evil some people can appear, they still have this soul and these capacities. The problem is that something has blocked their access to it. It's covered over. They can't find their way back to their soul. So, in our practice tonight, we are feeling our way towards our soul and then looking to see what that oneness, that unity that is in our soul, this part of ourself that can be at one with everything, with other people, with nature, with the universe, with love. That part of ourself that can be at one with everything. And then to see if, as we move through our life and our being, if when we approach anyone else that has different opinions from us, that are very different from us, that we tend to judge, can we become aware of our soul in oneness with their soul, dropping down below all ego, opinions, beliefs, conditioning, dropping down and connecting with them in that place and going from there. So let's practice together. I invite you to drop into your own experience. And to notice whatever it is that you are experiencing now. To notice it without judgment and without trying to change anything. To just notice what's here now. This is always the first part of becoming present. It's the first step. What am I experiencing? What's here? If you can say one single thing that you're experiencing, you are becoming more present. So now we turn to our physical being, our body, and we're going to give it our full attention for the next few minutes. And so we begin with our feet, and we simply notice or experience or sense our feet. And then our ankles. And noticing our lower legs. And our knees. And sensing our upper legs and our hips. Sensing our pelvis and all the organs of the pelvis. Sensing our belly. Seeing what we can notice about all the organs inside the belly. Noticing the chest. And then experiencing our physical beating heart. And then sensing the shoulders. And the upper arms. Sensing our elbows and our lower arms. And then really experiencing your hands. And then noticing the low back and beginning all the way down at the tailbone, following the spine and the muscles and the ribs, all the way up the back. Noticing your scapula and then your neck. And sensing your scalp and your face. And then noticing your body, sensing yourself as one whole physical being, this one body in which you dwell. And whatever that sensing feels like to you, that is your physical presence. This is how you know your body is here now. And that you are becoming here now. Becoming present. So staying aware and grounded in our physical being. From the physical being, we begin to include awareness of all our inner landscape. So that includes feelings, emotions, subtle sensations, images. And we wait quietly to allow these things to arise in our awareness. And when something arises, we notice it without judgment or attempting to change anything. We're becoming present to ourself, our full self. And now bringing all parts of our being together, body, mind, heart, this one being that we are. And sensing that as our whole presence. All of these things about us here now. What does that feel like? When we imprint this sense of what our presence is like, we very easily return to ourself. And then remaining grounded in yourself, your full being. Extend your awareness beyond the limitations of your physical body. Extend your awareness or even your being out into the room, the space around you. Letting your awareness take in whatever's here. And then letting it extend all the way out past your four walls, including the land upon which you're situated. Including all the creatures that are on the land. Animal beings, plant beings, human beings. All the elements, water, air, stone. And becoming aware that you are a part of it all. And as a part of it all, when we practice for transformation and healing, we are practicing for all. So remaining in your own presence and your awareness of yourself as part of all. Become aware of how the earth is drawing you into itself. That you're being acted upon by the force of gravity. And that you're being held here. Feel what that holding feels like. What is important to know intellectually here is that we are not holding ourselves. We are being held. We are not doing the work. It is being done for us. When we know this and believe this, we can begin to relax. We can physically let our bodies go and be held by the earth. And we can let our hearts and spirits and bodies be held in love, by love. So now we bring our awareness to our breath from this state of presence and holding. We simply observe the breath as it comes in and flows back out again. Always coming to this space with beginner's mind, as though you've never noticed yourself breathing before. Simply noticing what it is like for the body to receive air and then to release it. This sensation of release in the body is almost exactly what it feels like to release anything in the psyche, in the mind, in the heart. We feel that release and outflow. So when you are ready, trusting the breath as your guide to carry you into a space of complete surrender, space where you can let go of everything. The body is held, the heart is open, the mind is quiet. Nothing needs to be held on to. And we can rest in a space of simple being. When the mind begins to wander, returning to your body, recognizing your presence, recognizing your holding, being held, and then following the breath out again into simple being. So, this journey that we've taken has led us into the space of the soul house. It is completely accessible to us when we are in this space of openness and relaxation. So, invite us now to feel our way into our own soul and to trust our own souls to teach us, to guide us into understanding unity and oneness. And to simply spend this next minute or so listening deeply to our own soul. Never, ever forget that whatever you feel is true about and in your own soul is true for all souls. And this is the doorway to unity with all other beings. Thank you so much for practicing with me and supporting my own practice. I love you.